stationary. Me and my brother miss the presence of a mother caring. The harder I fought, the I noticed my country's being buried by this nation's aristocrats and its emissaries. My home is fairly dying and my act's wary. The troops are ready to quit, so it's time I carry the cowardice act my captain is giving. That's unforgiving. I won't resist to being defeated. Long as my heart is down, long as my warrior spirit is seething. I'm cleaving through demons, decapitating the doubt that you're breathing. I'm eating the bit into your reason of seeing the throne through the eyes of a king. Knocks the citizens can't believe it. The Massian armies approaching, I will seize them. The pressure is on, besieged for bag of my bag. I've been back in the passion of madness, engraving the guilt of my blade. Murderous swing, the world is ours.
I'm decisive, a bright shining light. The might of Demacia has arrived to strike. Spinning, not stirred, I'm undiluted right. With good on my side, set my sword with just ice. Courageous assassin assailing, demonstrating why it's necessary to analyze your surroundings and actions. Yet, when my Juliet sinister blades are winning trades, practical perseverance prevails over a Capulet.
Galileo, Golem, a gargoyle guardian, a G in the air who protects all Demacia, crushing the enemies with paralyzing light. One glance and they're taken by a resolute sign. Compelled to protect, I drive to survive and ensure that my lane leaves combat alive. Crush barracks, snatch barracks, two birds with one stone. Have you met my parents?
Because I is friend and foe. Well, why are you fighting for? Set the score once and for all. It's not a game, this is war.
Now step in, change the scene forever. My very presence clever. You're in the middle of the scheme, yours truly signed. You lack comprehension, I'm distracting your attention like a reverse intervention that's allowing you to fuck your mind. Your steps ahead, you might be breathing but you're dead. You wanna run away, but instead I make you bow your head. Nation of elites, marching to the beat. Demacia's defeat, let's just morph and eat. I'm even here with master plans. Kill the good guys, then we dance. Break a sweat, yeah, right, my access, take up back tonight. I didn't fool no Comanche or Demacia telling me what to do. I play around, I joke and laugh, I'll taunt when I cut you in half. One thing about me, killing spree, these other clowns aren't in my league. Game of legend, choose a side as I consider fratricide. Darius, I don't just win, I get the gold and I rub it in. My global presence is insane, your destiny will stay my name. Draven.
Massive shambles when I shame the champion, I will leave them blind. With the silent luminescence, I protect this land of mine. Supporter AP carry, doesn't matter, they still make you die. Listen, singularity, you baddies are in such a bind. Look, it's scaring, it's spinning and winning and grinning. You're likely in the middle of a lane, about to make a split decision. Do I surrender, or do I try to brave the storm? I am the ender, my family was battle born. You spy a laser, but you can't escape
Awo, good timing.
Sorry, I was delayed
That's
by
okay.
reality.
Just glad that you're here. Perfect timing. Hello.
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 Hello. You hear Jamball?
Bao Shang is here. Your light comes on, but no sound comes from God. Goddess.
It's a rhetorical question because I know she's here. I think her mic was just muted.
I suppose God could be used gender neutral, either way.
It could be. Just makes goddess redundant.
The goddess. I don't hear Jamball if her light is lighting up and no sound is happening. I don't know if that's a
Oh, my mic
technical
was
issue.
muted. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
What
Let
if
me just-
what if God is trying to speak to us but his mic is muted? Wouldn't that be a terrible sequence of events?
That would be...
Humans are killing each other, there's terrible things occurring all over the globe. God's like, stop it! Why aren't you stopping it? Oh, my mic's muted. Shit!
I gotta recapture every week. I gotta recapture the chat. Like, it's like, oh, you want me to use your main browser window where you're reading about Star Citizen? I'm like, no, I want you to use the Twitch chat actually.
Just to give you a an idea of Away's not here yet, so I won't switch it over. But yeah, some people are new. This is their first time. Welcome. As I
they
said in
changed
chat,
Roll20.
I'll probably just go through it again while Awo joins. There was war has broken out between Noxus and Demacia over what started as these Nexus crystals in Calamander. It was discovered that Prince Jarvan was captive of Noxus, or Swain. They met Xin Zhao along the way, who asked them to help him to retrieve Prince Jarvan from captivity. They traveled there with many adventures along the way, including slaying dragons and helping dead people, to where last week they met an old blind woman who appeared to have some kind of sight, who lived in the forest, and she basically she said to the party that they would need each other. She sent Bao Shang and Cassandra into the woods with a cryptic message to retrieve something so that they would encounter Tuk Tuk, and she informed them that they would need Tuk Tuk as he was the guide. She didn't explain what, she just said that he was the guide and that they would need him. And she said to Tuk Tuk that if he would like to encounter challenge beyond any a mortal man has ever had, that he would have to stay with them, thus ensuring, hopefully, that the group stays together. Yes. Then they continued to travel to Noxus, where somehow they managed to... Bao Shang managed to not get arrested on sight for being Ionian, as Ionia and Noxus are enemies and at war at the moment, with Ionia actually... what's the word? When
Occupied.
they're... Occupied, that's right. Occupied by Noxus at the moment. They have arrived in Noxus. They've met Xin Zhao. They've come into the city, and we'll start at the last scene that we left off last week. And just to give you an idea of the scale of the city you're in, this is a work in progress. This is not a finished map at all. It is like 4 or 5 hours of work that is not even nearly finished. But just to give you an idea of the scale of the city that you are indeed in, here is my whip of Noxus self.
It's such a big file. It's actually taking a while to load.
Is that Skull Mountain right there?
Yeah, there's no skull, but yes.
That is Skull Mountain. There is a real skull. It's don't listen to the DM.
This
There's a
map is
skull there if
awesome.
you just
I just want you to know this map is awesome, and it gives me so much a better idea of things. Can you
Good,
mark
that
where
was the idea.
where we are approximately after the last?
Yeah, so you would have travelled in here. You've travelled in here this way. Let me freehand draw it actually. You've travelled in here. There is a town square plaza thing here. And this is where we currently are. As I said, it's a
Seeing
whip.
none of
I'm
this.
sorry. Are you not seeing anything?
I see it. Are you looking at the right side of the map, Ewa, over on the left?
No, probably.
You
Nope,
probably
don't
not.
see. Okay, now I'm seeing. Now I'm starting to see it.
Okay. So that is approximately where you are. As I said, it's not finished yet. I haven't. I worked on it last night for like 5 hours, and because I have to put every single one of those houses in individually, and everything else to go with it. So it's not finished, not by a million miles, but to give people a visual, I'm just going to switch you to the other map.
Let me just delete the skull highlights.
We're terrible players.
The
We're
skull
terrible.
isn't real. The skull isn't real. That's not canon. It's just a
You
mountain.
can't see it.
Yeah, this is just like a kind of visual of the area around it. Yeah, there's no actual skull in the thing. That is not in this world.
That's for
Right,
dramatic
can
effect.
keep that. Yeah. So here we are. We can just recap the last scene. So you've travelled into the city. And as you've travelled into the city, you've gotten the crowds have become more and more and more. You've arrived at this town plaza. In the town plaza, there is what appears to be a stage for executions. There's a noose and other such things. It's quite large. Standing on the stage, around the stage there are soldiers. Standing on the stage, there is a man who is on his knees. Has his hands bound in front of him, and there is a man with 2 axes standing beside him, who is the executioner. I think I can just
Jamball,
put it back on the page.
I
Yes.
just want to be clear. So the stage you're talking about is not illustrated on this map. It is not the giant circular dome playing area.
It's the red
No.
plaza over on the left.
See the red square?
Okay, that's why I just want to make sure that's where it was, and it wasn't down there on the right. That's all.
No.
Just
You
don't-
are.
This picture's even more horrifying in a larger size.
Even better the second time.
So you are here in this town plaza, which I haven't
Yeah.
made quite yet, but is there. So I am sorry. I'm sorry about that. So on the stage is executioner. The man that's kneeling proceeds to tell him that he is innocent, that he was framed, that he didn't kill him. And the executioner seems to take a sympathetic ear to that, and turns his back and basically says to him, if you're innocent, we'll, basically, let the gods decide. And knowing what that means, the man then gets up and he runs through the crowd. He pushes people out his way and tries to escape. The executioner then turns around with a savage, feral kind of grin on his face, and very, very happily, as if he's playing his favorite game, he throws one of his axes with deadly accuracy, and it whacks into the back of this man's neck, and he just falls over and starts to bleed out and die. The crowd is absolutely loving it. They're going mental for it, like it's their favorite show. And he raises his arms out as a horn, a deep horn, sounds in the distance, and he says, "The fleshing has begun." And the crowd starts to disperse and go into this direction. You are standing in the square. You've just witnessed this, and you are. Because you were near the back, you're kind of being nudged and pushed towards in the same direction. Zinzao has a very dark look on his face, and he gives you a nod, and you start walking towards where the crowd is going.
And just to emphasize for people who weren't here last week, and this is the first time they've heard it, and are like, man, Jamball's really half-assed at this D&D thing. She was giving a recap. I just want to recap. I just want to emphasize that in case people didn't hear that, because otherwise it sounds like you just did the most like half-assed someone dying scene ever. Like, oh yeah, and then he died. Like, no, it's a recap of what we did last week.
This is a recap. This was the last scene that we came into last week. This is just a recap to let you, the players, know, get you back into exactly what's just happened.
Yeah, I just think of some guy like, oh man, that was like really half-assed. Wow. Like, no, we did that last week. So we're heading towards the fleshing with the peoples. This is the plan. I've nothing against this.
Okay.
I'm just following Zinzao at this point, feeling Zinzao's lead.
So, I think Zinzao is going to be showing us something, if I recall correctly.
Yes, we are his little subjects today. We are following his plan.
Okay, as you're traveling along, and as the buildings start to get thicker and more condensed around you, Zinzao kind of gives you a bit of a quick, like sort of head duck, and he ducks down an alleyway to the side. Once he's in there, if you choose to follow him.
Yeah.
Okay, once you're down the alleyway, far enough from the busy street where there's people constantly streaming by, says to you, he looks at Tuk Tuk, who is quite large man, and he says, I think the best way to get in would be to disguise ourselves. And he looks at Cassandra and says, you and your large friend here would easily pass as Noxians if we get you the right attire.
Okay.
Why Tuk Tuk wear other than his fur?
He raises an eyebrow at Tuk Tuk and he says, well, if we're to get in unnoticed, your furs will probably not do.
Tuk Tuk kill all these animals. Tuk Tuk need not change into little man clothes.
He kind of looks at Cassandra because he doesn't have any experience of this person. He was expecting Tortoise, and you've brought along Tuk Tuk.
I just look at
he
him
looks
like,
to you for answers.
DM, fuck you. Like, I don't know how to fucking deal with him. Are you serious? I don't know how to fucking deal with this guy. I'm like looking at you like, oh, please, DM, please make him do it. Like, Cassandra just looks
I'm
at
not the DM, I'm Zinzao.
Cassandra just looks at Zinzao like, so I don't know. Like, look, we just met him previously. You know, he can be difficult.
Tuk Tuk,
What?
when you hunt mighty animals in the forest, you must be careful so as not to scare them. Is that not correct?
Tuk Tuk wants them to be scared.
Right, but you cannot always be chasing the animals. Sometimes you must sneak up on them. Is that not right, Tuk Tuk?
Yes. Tuk Tuk sees wisdom.
Then this is what we must do, Tuk Tuk. Think of this as we are in a great hunt, and we must use stealth so that we might enjoy the great battle that you seek.
There's no challenge in stealth.
Indeed, it is the greatest challenge, Tuk Tuk. Think of the glory you will win as you spring upon your enemy and you see the fear in their eyes.
Tuk Tuk want to walk up to them, see fear and I the whole way.
Tuk Tuk, your foes are skittish and weakling and afraid, and they will run if they see you coming. Thus you must...
Tuk Tuk chase them down.
Tuk Tuk. Tuk Tuk. You will chase them down and you will win, but you must spring upon them from surprise.
Indeed.
You want me to wear little man clothes and surprise them?
Perhaps there is another way. What if Tuk Tuk were to pose as a prisoner?
Well, my friend, and Zinzao gives a kind of like a slight smile, and he points to your face, and then he points to his, and he says, that was already what we were going to be.
Ha!
Tuk Tuk, would it be possible that I could be your prisoner and you would be the mighty warrior, and thus you might use stealth of another means?
Tuk Tuk has no argument. This is good plan.
Excellent. Then we shall wear the little man clothes, but in return they shall wear the even littler man clothes.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. So Zinzao motions towards the end of the alley and he says, no doubt if we keep eye long enough we'll be able to see someone of the same, and he looks at Tuk Tuk and says, size as your friend. You shall be a little bit easier, I imagine, Cassandra. And he moves to the edge of the alleyway and kind of keeps watch down. So if you want to do any kind of, do you have anything you want to prepare or, go over with each other before moving on?
I can't believe that worked.
Can we... So I just want to go over the plan here out of character one more time. So our plan basically is to pose me and, what's his name again?
Zinzao.
Zinzao, thank you. We're to pose as prisoners to get into this prison or dungeon, I'm assuming. Once we're there, we free Prince Jabba, and then, not Prince Jabba, some guy whose name I can't remember.
Jarvan.
And then Javin. I know it was Jarvan. I was just
Yavin?
fooling. Yavin?
Yavin 4. He is Jarvan the 4th. Yavin 4.
Yavin 4, and it's all coming together. Chewie! And then once we presumably manage to free him, we're to escape through an entire city full of angry citizenry and or guards chasing us. I'm going with Zinzao. I'm just running this path. Like, this is what our plan is. This is our plan.
This is just like the Death Star.
So you actually convinced Zinzao about this? Because he hasn't really explained to you how or what he's going to do. Just he's giving you need to know information as he goes.
Baosheng is not going to be suffering classified information anymore. He wants to know that this is exactly what we're doing.
Zinzao turns to you while looking down the street and he says, there shall be enough commotion with the first step of the plan that a couple of people walking with their heads bowed shall not be noticed through the city. We should be able to leave unperturbed as long as everything goes to plan.
Zinzao, I have been across these many wild lands and great ocean, and I have learned that not everything always goes according to plan. Do we have a plan to deal with what happens when our plan goes awry?
He taps a spear on the back of his shoulder, and he says, "I have not met a force that is unmovable yet, and I will cut through any I need to."
Tuk Tuk like little man. Right attitude.
Yeah, it's quite a positive attitude, isn't it, Baosheng?
Yeah, something ghost tortise something.
Wow.
Wow, rip.
Soon enough, down the street, you spy a couple of soldiers. There's 3 soldiers, one around Tuk Tuk size, a smaller one, and a more average sort of guy. They're kind of just ambling along towards where the crowd is going, kind of minding their own business and whatever. Zinzao nods to, well, they're both my
Wow.
own.
No.
Wow.
They're both Iodians. All Iodians look the same,
wow.
Zinzao gives a nod to Cassandra and says, perhaps you'd be the best to go over and get their attention and bring them in. Your friend, and he looks at Baosheng, your friend and I should not be seen causing too much of a commotion.
Yes. How am I going to get them to come over here? What passes for local trouble in Noxus?
Baosheng points to Cassandra's boobs.
Fuck off, Baosheng.
Zinzao hands her a pouch that seems to be quite heavy with coin. and he says the best way to get a Noxian's attention is with money, and with the prize of more money. And he points to his to Bao Sheng and himself, and he says, maybe if you explain you have two more people for the fleshing, and the reward for that would be quite handsome, and you'd be willing to share it.
Okay.
And share something else. Bao Sheng makes a wink
Fuck off, Bao Sheng.
at Cassandra.
Jin Zhao raises an eyebrow at Bao Sheng saying this, assuming that they're in some kind of relationship, and yet he's still saying this.
No, Bao Sheng just has his mind on another kind of fleshing. I'm gonna walk off towards these Noxians.
Okay, so you walk out into the street, and it's like I said, it's pretty crowded. There's it's not so much as before. A lot of the crowd has moved on. Everybody's moving towards this area. The Noxians are approaching. The three guards. Sorry.
Excuse me.
At first, they don't hear you they don't appear to hear you anyway. They keep walking.
Well, can I, am I in front of them? Can I be in front of them?
You can put yourself in front of them, yes.
Yeah.
As you step in front of them, the large one looks down at you and sort of readjusts his axe at its side and gives a grunt and waves his hand for you to move out the way.
I need some help having some personnel transferred to the fleshing. I'd be quite happy to share the pay from it, if you would be so kind. I kind of motion to the bag in my hand.
The little one says, what's this? You personnel, what do you mean? What's that mean?
Fighters. Taken from elsewhere. I'm afraid I've come into possession of them, but require help to transfer them safely.
How much you got in that purse there, love?
How much have I got in this purse here?
You didn't look.
More than you can count.
I say more than enough for more than enough for the price of 2 living men for the fleshing. And once we get them there and the true payment is given, I'll be more than happy to split it quite fairly. Simple job.
The middle one crosses his arms and sort of gives a little pick of his nose and flicks it and says, "Oh yeah, show us a coin then."
All right. Well, I open the bag and sort of reveal how much is in it.
As you open it, you see that the majority of the coins on top are indeed gold coins. So, immediately the eyes of the Noxians light up, and they're like, and they give a nod to each other, and they're like, "All right then, love, lead on. Where's these prisoners then?"
Thank you. Follow me, please. I trot off towards our alley.
Okay. Now back in the alley, Bao Sheng, did you want to conceal yourself in any way?
Yeah, I'm assuming that it's a typical alley. I don't know if you want to draw it on a blank sheet really quick here, and I'll just show you how I would have Bao Sheng get himself organized.
Hide in a trash can.
My name's not Oscar, it's Bao Sheng.
Bosker.
Thought it was Roger from Across the Wild Lands.
Tuk Tuk wasn't here for that. He doesn't know anything about that.
Whoa, I was out of character. Jeez.
You know, Taters, I want you to know that I love Tuk Tuk's laugh of joy and amusement.
Ah,
Ah! Ah!
loud.
Ah!
Oh.
Jesus. Okay, so it's your stereotypical kind of alley. Like, there's a bit of trash down there, and but it's not like.
Okay, so I assume they're where that X is, thereabouts, right?
Yes, they're on the main street.
All right. I'm gonna. Let me change color here. Damn it! God damn it, Beagle! God damn it! I was gonna use blue, and you start writing in blue. Damn it!
Is that your excuse? You just call yourself an idiot trying to cover it up?
Wow.
I'm I'm gonna put that red B. That's where Bao Shang's gonna press himself flat up against the wall so that you can't see him until you're coming around the corner.
Okay. Xin Zhao's gonna follow your lead. He's going to stand beside you where the X is. Tuk Tuk? What is Tuk Tuk doing for this?
Actually, wait. I changed my mind. I'm gonna have Bao Shang lie down on the ground and pretend like his eyes are closed.
Because this worked so well last time.
Well, here's what I'm thinking. If they fucking walk around the corner and they see two dudes pressed up against the wall, like ready to fucking spring on them, and they're right there at the edge of the entrance, like there's no way you're gonna be able to bring them in there that they're not gonna fucking see us and fucking react before we come in there.
Well, maybe you guys should go deeper down the alleyway then.
Is there any kind of debris or shit in the alleyway? Is there like boxes? Is there like
There's
wooden pallets or something like that?
Yeah, there's a couple of like old wooden like rotten kind of things thrown into the street. There's not like pallets and dumpsters and shit like that you'd find in our alleys. It's just kind of like muck and grime and just kind of trashy stuff. There's not a lot of big stuff.
Then I'm gonna turn to Xin Zhao and I'm gonna say, we should actually be all the way at the back of the alley, because then we want to lure them all the way into the back of the alley where we can fight them instead of alerting anybody at the because if they're at the mouth of the alley and we engage them, they could break and run, and we wouldn't be able to do anything about it. Versus if they're in the back of the alley, they're locked in there. Especially if Cassandra drifts back a little bit or something like that, because
Beagle, did you take my black pen?
Yes.
Yeah, Can I have that back at some point, please? I need it.
Now?
Preferably.
Okay, hang on.
Sorry. I can't do things. Beagle stole my pen. But yes, Xin Zhao will agree with you that that is indeed a wise choice, and he will come back into the back of the alley with you.
If that's the case,
Thank you.
I'm just gonna stand
the
there.
pen, okay.
I'm not gonna fucking lie down on the ground or any of that shit. I'll just stand there looking like a unassuming dude or prisoner, assuming I can look like that.
Okay, you can make yourself look kind of like meek. Xin Zhao will stand beside you. He doesn't he kind of bows his head, but he doesn't like bend his
I'm gonna turn to
Tuk
Tuk and I'll say, Tuk Tuk, I want you to stare at us menacingly, but be on guard for when they come back here. Because when I say the word Tuk Tuk, when I call your name, that's when we'll attack.
Tuk Tuk not like little man plan. Tuk Tuk not going to hide.
You're not hiding. You're standing there. And what word would you prefer I use when we attack? Do you have a battle cry, Tuk Tuk?
Tuk!
Alright, well, when I yell Tuk, you attack.
As you're trying to negotiate with Tuk Tuk the code word for go, the three soldiers walk around following Cassandra into the alley, and they walk down here. Can't I move this now? God damn it, Roll20. Whatever, I'll destroy it again. So they walk down and they stop in front of you a little ways, and they nod to Cassandra, and they say, this, oh my god, this, them, then love.
Yes, this is them.
They look at the two Ionians, and they say, why haven't you got their hands bound then?
That's what I need you for.
Righto. The middle one pushes the littler one forward, and he says, "Off you go, then, Mados." Bound their hands, and he gives them like a little bit of rope or something that he would have just had around on his person. Not something too long, just a little bit that would have been used if there's disputes or whatever. The little one comes forward and he approaches you, Bao Sheng, and he sort of sneers at you as he reaches out to grab your hands.
I'm gonna double over and start coughing.
Okay. As you start coughing, he kind of like pulls back a little from you, and he looks at you with disgust and spits on the ground near you, and he says, "Give me your ruddy hands, and dirty fucking Ionian."
I have just one thing to say to you.
He do a dexterity saving throw.
Do I do that with a proficiency bonus or not?
If you have one. If you have a black
'Cause I
dot
have-
next to it.
I don't have a black dot in it, strangely. That's kind of frustrating.
As if
Okay.
you needed it.
Yeah. As you say to him, I just have one thing to say to you. He snarls at you, and he raises the rope to bring it down on you like a whip. But you can decide how you deal with it because you passed.
I'm gonna yell out, "Tuck," and then I'm gonna grab the rope and punch him square in the jaw, and I'm gonna use flurry of blows when I do it.
I wanna.
And so
So
I'm
that's
gonna.
2 hits, right?
So it uses a bonus action, so I actually get 3 hits, and then when I hit with flurry of blows, I actually get the option of doing something else cheap to him. I'm gonna scroll down. Here we go. If he he must succeed on a dexterity saving throw, or he'll be knocked prone.
I
Okay.
wanna do something at the same time, obviously, as I'm sure we all do.
Okay.
So do you want me to roll to attack?
Yep. Do your roll to attack and hit and whatever. So are they all rolls to hit?
Yeah.
Okay. Do damage rolls on the last 2.
Hand to hand's 1d4, right?
I believe so, unless you spend your ability and do the 1d6, I think.
Oh,
for
right.
you.
Yes, that's correct. And I'm going to add my strength to do it because, as Beagle always tells me,
What do I always tell you?
add your strength, Abel.
Great. Okay. Okay, so as the little man snarls at you, he brings the whip down, the rope to whip it down across your face. You reach out and you grab the rope and you pull him off balance and immediately strike out with your other fist. And again, follow it up with your original hand that caught the rope, and you smack him twice straight in the face, incredibly fast and incredibly hard. And his eyes roll in the back of his head, and he just falls down, crumples to the ground, and is knocked out cold. At the same time,
Tuck!
Beagle, you wanted to do something?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm preparing for them to do something, so I want to have drifted behind them a little bit, or just be to their side. I'd like to pistol whip one of them in the back of the head, and then press the gun to the back of the other one, which I don't pistol whip. Obviously, I'm trying to knock one of them out.
Okay, so which one are you going to?
The one furthest from Tuck is the one I want to pistol whip.
That's the big guy.
Oh, that'd probably be harder.
The medium guy is closest to you.
Then I'll do it to the medium guy. I'll pistol at the medium guy because I probably got a better chance of knocking him out.
Okay. Roll.
Just roll as standard.
Roll your hit or whatever it is. Your damage hit.
Oh, my damage.
Yep. You automatically hit him. He's not really looking at you.
Okay, I just gotta check what it is. Plus 1, 2, 3.
There's no reason to roll advantage. There's no way that she'd miss.
I think it's like 1d6, that's it. I think it's just 1d6 plus 1.
Okay, so Cassandra pulls out a pistol and she bends and smacks it into the temple of the guy behind her, who stumbles back, a nasty cut now above his eye that's splashing blood down onto his face. He stumbles back and reaches for his axe. Roll initiative.
I wanted to beat him in the back of the head so I could knock him out.
You weren't behind him though.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. Well...
Okay. I did say that they followed you and they were behind you, but...
Yeah, and then I said I wanted to be behind them,
and,
but anyway.
Well, you could knock him out anyway. Like, I rolled for it and you didn't,
okay.
so...
Anyway, sorry, I was just confused. Anyway.
So just roll initiative, please.
Draw the Cassandra token, or put the Cassandra token in there.
Yeah,
That might help.
I'll draw
Here,
a token.
Let me do a
beggars
close
the
up of this
question.
alley.
Is there a tuk token? A TTT?
I need to make a tuk-tuk
No,
token.
Beagle didn't make me one.
Wow.
So here is
Beagle.
Zin. Here is Baosheng. Here is Tuk Tuk.
It's just a box.
Here is the passed out man. Here is
Gosh, I
Cassandra.
reduced him to a smear.
Here is the medium man. Here is the big man.
The big man.
Okay. So initiatives. You got an 8 Beagle?
Yep.
Are we all supposed to roll initiatives or just him?
Yep. Both of you. All of you.
Okay.
I'll use. Wow. Tuk Tuk has a +2 to his initiative.
That's what my thing says. I don't know. This is the one Jamball gave me.
No doubt that barbarian rage.
He's got pretty godlike stats.
Based on his strength stat alone, I'm sure he could crush a man's skull with his bare hands.
With his
Crush
beard.
rocks.
Are you kidding?
Okay. The guard, they're quite taken aback by the sudden turn of violence. But the one that you struck immediately whips out his axe, and he leaps forward to strike at you, Cassandra. But he is blinded by the blood running down his face, and he swings wide, way past you, and stumbles forward further into the alley.
Rex.
If I could grab him, that would be great. Please. Please roll 20. Okay, let's just do it like this then.
They changed the login splash for Roll20. I don't know if I like it.
Everything's new.
Change is bad.
Change is always bad.
Only
My
single bills for me.
God. Okay. Bashang, you're next.
I'm gonna have Bao Shang kick the guy who's falling back away from Cassandra. Kick him square in the head.
You mean the one that stumbled past her?
Yeah, I'm assuming that's the orange guy, right?
Yeah, he stumbled past her and further into the alley.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Roll to
Getting a
hit.
kick.
Okay, roll for damage.
I didn't roll yet. No, I did.
Oh, sorry, I thought the 13.
No, that was my initiative.
Oh, sorry. Bao Shang leaps forward to do the spinning kick on the man, but he's